Yes, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. We've made a transfer in the window. We've transferred out Puxty to Millwall, and we've brought in Romz to replace him. Romz, welcome to the show for your debut. Welcome to Kaz. Ant is replacing Wolfie, which means we all get a bit of a respite from Nottingham Forest delusion for the week. Welcome to Hooks. His team are still just hanging on in there in the title race. Charlie's got a lot of explaining to do about his Chelsea, and the best team in North London managed to win yesterday. Welcome to everyone in the chat, guys. Where do we start this week? Where do we start? It's got to be, hasn't it? It's got to be with Tottenham versus Man United. I know it's shameless. Okay, fair enough. I know it's shameless. The fact that Spurs have won, and it's the first time I've started with Spurs. Kaz, talk to me. I'll start with you. Everyone else can just join in. Man United yesterday versus Spurs very much looked like 14th versus 15th in the league, didn't it?
Yeah, I was actually more interested in what you had to say, so I don't have to talk that much. I don't know. I don't know what stage. I don't know what stage I'm at anymore. I don't know what stage I'm at. I'm gonna be honest. I can't even run up the shameless gimmick because no one's gonna believe me. So it's like, so for me, it's like I lost to Tottenham 3 times in one season. Do you know how embarrassing that is? Yeah, I can't even talk to my granddad. I got a missed call from my granddad. He supports Spurs, right? And he lives in Plymouth as well. Mad that, but flipping. I couldn't even answer my own granddad. You know what I mean? He's in his 80s now, bless him, and I don't want to talk to him.
That's terrible, Kaz.
And he texts me saying Nan wants to talk to her. I said I don't want to talk to her either. Like, I don't want to talk to her.
I'll tell you what we do, Kaz. Then before you and I give our opinion, anyone else on the panel? I'm guessing you all watched the Super Sunday game of Tottenham versus Man United. What did you all make of it? Because I'll be honest, I'm from a Spurs fan. I'm glad we got the win, but I just can't help but think, how on earth are those two teams the top 2 favourites to win the Europa League? I have no idea. What do you guys think about that?
I feel honestly. Go on, Romz, go on.
So you're probably not going to care because you got the 3 points, but I actually thought United were a better team. I think they looked more threatening. They had the more clear cut chances, but they couldn't finish their dinner. And so couldn't you. It was like who could miss more, because chances would have been created on both parts. But I think if there was a team I thought that would score the equaliser, maybe go on to win the game, I would probably side with United. But there's a reason why you two are both 14th and 15th. I was just thinking, everyone just firing blanks, honestly. That game, in terms of quality, it was piss poor. It was actually piss poor.
Man, the midfield was so open, like both teams, just so easy to just go through it. I mean, like a midfield 2 of Casemiro and Fernandez or whatever it was, or whatever it ended up being. There's just no legs in there. But then Spurs, like every time United went forward, it's just so easy to go through that midfield. Like I couldn't believe how open it was. I mean, it was mad. It lacked quality, the game. Make no mistake about it. It was end to end in the second half, and like it wasn't a terrible watch, but you can tell that these are 2 teams that are where they deserve to be in the table.
I thought it was a terrible watch. I thought the quality was really poor quality from both sides. I mean, they look like, as you say, they look like 15th and 16th, and people might not sort of appreciate the brand of football that we play. But I tell you what, I'd rather watch my side than them 2 yesterday. They were dreadful.
Hang on, have you carried on from Wolfie? How have you made this about Nottingham Forest? How have we possibly made this about Nottingham Forest, who have been relegated about 10 times in the last
12 years? Because we've had 25 years of people either totally ignoring us or taking a piss out of us. So whilst we're 3rd in the table, we're making hay. And that's it.
I'll tell you what, right?
With no bias whatsoever, I think they look 2 poor quality teams.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. I mean, I don't know what Cass thinks, but Romz, I think it was you that tweeted it out. Like Højlund legitimately could be the worst number 9 in the league.
100%. 100%. Don't worry. I know I'll get.
Do you think he is?
I'm telling you now. I'd rather take all you lot's second striker. I don't even know who that is.
He might not even got one.
Exactly. I'd rather take that. I'd rather take that. Whatever that is. I've noticed a trend, with teams that are not associated with the top 6. They love talking about 25 years ago. I've been through it. The mud, Burnley away, Sheffield Wednesday away.
He's talking about you, Ant.
Also, I had Pete Davey doing it yesterday.
We beat Sheffield Wednesday away 7-1. One of the best performances
do you
you'll
get
ever
what I
see.
mean? Like, and it's all, and Daps does it as well. And like he's associated with a Big Six, but he loves to talk about like Big Steve. Oh, little old Seta, main road. You don't understand. We've been through it. I've seen it all. Like, no one gives a shit. Like, honestly, no one actually gives a shit. So to make it all about themselves, it's a little trend when it comes to small clubs. But overall, it's not even like it's Spurs lads. It's what someone said in the chat earlier. It's Man United lads. Like literally, that's where we're at. We're officially in our banter area. I'm actually thinking 20% we actually might get relegated because I don't know where the goals are coming from. Let me know.
But you're only just in your banter era now.
No. When I say that it was
Been
banter
here for
era,
a minute.
no, there's banter era. Then there's all right. You got to think of another word for banter.
Now, the thing is, you man won't get relegated because the teams that are in the relegation zone now, like they're really bad. Like on it, you would have to lose the remainder of your games for there to even be a chance. But the problem for me is, I don't know if you man are gonna go and do the business you need to in the summer for Amarim to have his players for there to be improvement next season. So it could just be a tumble down. And maybe next season you could get relegated. Cause boy, this Amarim brother, yeah, he's not the one, man. I won't. Like, I was looking. Do you know what? Yeah, I was looking at the Portuguese league today, and the gap between 6th and 4th is 11 points. In the Premier League, the gap between 6th and 4th is only 1 point in it. Like the chasm, the Grand Canyon in quality, between the clubs in the English Premier League to the Portuguese league. But I don't think he's ready for it, man. He's not used to going to like teams that are 17th in the league, but it's the level of intensity is like you're going to face the brother at the top of the league. He's not
It's a
used
bit
to
like
that.
Ange coming from Celtic, isn't it?
Yeah,
Celtic,
man.
who was conquering everything, and everybody thinks he's this wonderful, fantastic tactical genius. He comes down to a proper league and struggles.
Yeah,
but
man.
Don't you think if I'm gonna, I'll play devil's advocate here for a second. Don't you think with Amarim, at least he's got to have a summer, like he's got to have a summer where he gets in 4 to 5 of his own players and gets a chance to shift out footballers. Like, listen, I know some people will be going, pot kettle black, because you say the same thing about Ange, but Ange has had 4 transfer windows, 2 summers, and we still look shit. You know, Ruben Amorim's come into what is an actual mess. And sorry, Sak, I think you know this. He's come into a mess. He hasn't got the players that play his way. Surely, I've seen people say he should be sacked. Surely he needs a summer to be given a couple of 100 million to go and buy players that play his way. And then,
not a couple of 100 million to spend, though, Savva. They haven't got a couple 100 million to spend.
This is the problem.
They always find a way.
I can tell you quite easily, to be fair. Like, all the players that are currently, there are about 4 players that are currently leaving, and you have to add wages because you have to, innit? Because it's the wage bill so far down now. Casemiro's a guaranteed leaver. It's quite obvious at the point. Rashford's going to leave. Anthony's going to leave, whether he gets his price up or not. Even if you think in your head what price did they go for, I'm even thinking on a low price. There's other players that are wanted or whatever. Like I've got a list of 90% or more guaranteed to leave, and there's the ifs and buts and maybes. Garnacho maybe. I'm not even accounting that, and a lot of that does add up to a lot of money. And also, I think there's a good free market if anyone goes look out there as well. Angel Gomez, Jonathan David. You can build a squad with a lot of freebies as well. But also, for me, you can sell off a lot of youngsters. We got a lot of highly rated youngsters that need shipping. We're getting better at selling those as well. And even I've accounted maybes getting a 10 million here or 15, maybe even 5. But I think United will be okay as long as they can get what they want in terms of getting the main hitters out, because 350k of wages of Casemiro and obviously we got 25 million for Sancho that gets hit at the end of the year plus his wages. That can account for anyone that comes in. That's like 700,000 nearly of wages that you can put towards 5, 6, 7 different players. So I'm not worried about that part. My part is whom they go for and if they can acquire that profile that they seek. We know we want Ederson, Cunha's of the world, but does Ederson and Cunha's want a project of Man United? That's another question. If let's say Liverpool, Man City, or Arsenal come in for them, they're going to be more inclined to choose those ones. So my whole thing is your second and third options, are they good enough? Because that's what the case may be, unless you somehow miraculously finish in Europa League and win it or win an FA Cup. I don't see it no more. After them injuries, no chance. Don't see it. I'm done. My season is finished.
Do you know what? So back to your question, right? I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I still rate Amorim. That when Klopp left, it was him, Alonso, and Flick. Them three were my shortlist. I think Amorim was even top. You had Tom Little making that scriptures about how good Amorim is. You might remember, but it's a results game business. And look, we know he doesn't have the players he has. And the one signing he did make, actually, Dorgu, I think it looks a decent signing. But his first game, he plays him on the wrong side and hooks him at half time. I think he was one of United's, if not best player yesterday. He was actually making runs that were getting ignored. So there was individuals that played well. Even for Spurs, I think Vicario, if he could be more commanding and shout out more instructions, Distro can get a bit better. I think you're looking at a top keeper because shot stopping, I think you can see what you missed Vicario yesterday. I think Jed Spence was probably the best player on the pitch as well. I think Tell's movement was decent, but it's just that finishing touch where it's different coming into the fold on a Bayern team and now actually starting for a club. Is he as good? Because I maybe overrated him. I wanted Tell at Liverpool a couple of years ago to be that understudy. But back to what I was saying with Amorim, right? He does need his own players, but you have to deal with the hand you're. What's the saying? You have to deal with the hand you're.
You deal with the hand you're dealt. Yeah.
And if he keeps losing, what do you just enable it? Like, okay, you don't have your own players, but you keep losing.
But Romz, what's the other option? Let me. I'll throw this out to all of you, right? I like that the heat is not on my club. It's nice. What's the other option then? I mean, he's been there, 3 months? I don't know the exact time. I feel like he's been there 3 months. What do you do, Romz? Do you turn around in March or April of this season and go, right, Amorim's gone, we're going to bring in another head coach?
You're right, because it's rinse and repeat, because then if they hire someone, he's not going to have his players. He's not going to have the full summer to get the players he wants. They have bad results, and then it's kind of just an ongoing thing. So I'm not saying to sack him at all, but I do understand some United. I don't agree with any United fans wanting him out now, I'll be honest. But when they propose the argument, but we keep losing, I can't remember, what's it, 4 wins, 4 Premier League wins?
Yeah, eight losses.
8 losses. Yeah. When they're chucking stats like that, it's kind of hard
to... 8 losses under Amorim?
Yeah.
Even
nine overall.
Yeah, but I'm not saying he should go either, but this is Man United. You know, I'm seeing certain Man United fans that are just giving him a free pass. This is Man United,
like me.
And Man United, you can't lose every week, and it's okay. Oh, we just passed it off. He hasn't got his players. Like for me, I watch United, obviously not as much as Cass or other United fans do, but yeah, you can make that. You can absolutely say he's not got his players. There's injuries to key players, etc., etc. But when I watch United, Amorim is making fundamental, basic errors in the way that the team's set up. Like little things like that. I mean, is it right that he sticks to his principles in terms of, look, I haven't got the players, but I've been bought in to play a back 3 or back 5, whatever you want to call it, and I'm just going to play that until I get my players in, so that these existing players.
What would you do, Charlie? What would you do? Because I don't see a lot that can be done with this. I might be wrong. It's not my team. I'm not invested in it, but I don't see a lot that can be done with this squad, because Ten Hag didn't do anything with that squad. Yeah. Now this guy isn't. At what point do we say, this is the players?
Well, it is the players, because we know the players aren't good enough. But is it right that the manager has a total free pass?
Yeah, I don't agree with because if the manager was going to get a free pass, then why not just keep Ten Hag until the end of the season and bring him in the summer and give him the summer window?
Because I think
what we need to do, the board at Man United, which I'm sorry, I don't rate the board at Man United. I'm sure Kaz doesn't either. They need to get Amorim into the office and need to say to him, look, Ruben, we know you want to stick to your style, but with the players we've got right now, it's not happening. We need you to get some results. So you're going to have to compromise, be a little bit more stable, get back to what the players can cope with, and then in the summer, we'll buy you the players you need. Now, the problem is, that's how it should go, but the problem is, I don't think Man United want to spend much money. So they can't really promise him that they're going to bring in those 5 or 6 players that he needs to play his style. So they're in a real difficult situation where they've got a manager that wants to play a certain style, but he's not got the players to play that style. What do you do? One or the other's got to compromise.
Did you hear, though, about what Jermaine Defoe said yesterday? about Man United and Amorim. And I think he always comes, not just because he played for Spurs, I always think he comes across really well when he talks to Jermaine Defoe. He said, you've got to remember that if when the Man United owners have spoken to Amorim and said, look, you're our guy, we're going to pay you out, we want you to come in, this is what we want you to do, we want you to play this style, this is why we're hiring you. Wouldn't it be best in the short term to have that pain whilst you go through that? And then you get his players, some of his players in the summer, and the other players that still remain know his system by then. Or would you go, right, scrap that, let's just go to I'll show my age here. Let's go to a 4-4-2 for the rest of the season. Remember that, guys? Remember the old 4-4-2?
Yeah.
Used to be a thing.
We do it now. Off the ball.
Fulham do it. Man City do it. They all do
it. You get my point. Whatever the formation is, do you do that and then say in the summer, right, now we're going to switch to your 3-4-3, whatever formation we want to call it these days? Isn't that's what Jermaine Defoe was saying? That's the difficulty, right?
I'd rather not. I'd rather suffer. I don't care if I finish 9th or 15th or 17th. I don't care. The thing is, I'm not getting gaslighted by no rival fan that doesn't watch my team week in, week out, and all that kind of stuff. So the thing is, I watch it extensively. Yeah, I'd rather get these youngsters that he wants to bring in, regardless, into the situation earlier and whatnot. You can go get 17th or 10th. There's no difference to me, mate. You're not earning that much money from the position you finish, regardless. So the way I look at it, he said himself, we're going to go through a lot of pain because these players are crap. What am I going to go back to low block football so you lot can tell me that I don't have a style of play? The thing is, I can see what he wants to do, right? Because I look beyond it. I've seen what he's done.
I can see it as well, Kaz. I can see.
And the thing is, I can see what he wants to do if he does get his profiles. Because I've got, if you just go back 6 months ago and so you see what he's built, or go back 5 years even when he came over from like Casapia and all them teams there and Braga. So my whole thing is, I don't mind the hurt for now. And I know you're gonna say what Charlie said, but you're Manchester United. But that's like gaslighting me days. It's not been Manchester United for 12 years, mate. Yeah. So for me, there's no difference. I'd rather just suffer and then go from there, because now every top red can see what footballer can really play football and what footballers can't. And a lot of them can't play football in this modern era. You all got the reason why we get walked over, because we've got no balance in any single areas of the pitch. The front three is what Ten Hag made. He made a 19-year-old at the point when he signed him, your head number 9. And then you've got Ahmad, who was in and out of the team because he didn't know if he trusted him or not. You've got Anthony, who's a flipping Beyblade. And then you've got another one on the other side, Rashford, who don't even want to be there. And Nacho, who's absolutely awful. Yeah, when he starts, he's all right when he's off the bench. And you get all these top reds say, oh, but he can play 10. No, look at yesterday. Where Dorgu was coming on the left. Who was on the touchline as well? It was Garnacho. How are you meant to receive the ball if you're trying to act like a winger? You're crap. You're crap. I can't wait for him to leave. Remember, Man United did not accept the bid. It's just that they couldn't work out the wages with him. That's it. So he thinks he's better than he is. So my whole part is, I can't wait for a lot of them to get reset. Even if you have to do the Chelsea thing, go get a lot of youngsters that are going to I'll go through that, because it can't be as bad as this next season. So he just needs a rebound.
How many of the current squad would you keep, Cass? How many of the current squad?
I think we went through this with Savva only a few weeks ago, didn't we? Like probably about 6 of them.
6 of them.
Probably. And plus youngsters, which is external, obviously.
Would you sell Bruno?
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But right now, he's the last kind of guy on my checklist that I want to get rid of first. He's going to be at the other end. Because he can't play. He's not midfielder. He's a striker.
Were Man U that bad? I'm going to sit on the fence here. Obviously, I've got my own opinion, but as the host, were Man U that bad? Because from my point of view, I think you opened us up a number of times, and had you finished your dinner, it could have been a very different result. So is it that his style is the problem, or is it literally that Man United cannot score goals?
Mate, with all due respect, anybody can open your side up. It's no great thing getting through your side.
Sure.
And I don't mean that, in a banter way. I'm genuine. Yeah.
And I don't doubt that's not my point. Listen, I'm the first Spurs fan that will tell you we get opened up and we have 15 to 20 shots against us each game. It's hilarious, right? It's hilarious that we've got fans that actually think we've got a coach. My point is, the difference is yesterday, Man United couldn't finish their dinner, right? Yeah. Man United had enough clear-cut chances in that game.
They could have won it.
What stage does it stop being the players and it's the manager and it's a combination? Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying,
no, my point is that you don't have to be that good to open you up at the moment and create those chances. So I can't sit here and say, yeah, Man United were great because they opened you up, because So what?
No, that's not the point I'm getting at. The point I'm getting at isn't that we're difficult to open up. The point I'm getting at is teams that do open us up that have finishers finish us off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Villa
of course,
opened us up, finished us off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Liverpool opened us up, finished us off. Bournemouth. Man United opened us up. I'm not saying we didn't have chances, but Man United opened us up. And I mean, Garnacho's chance was wow.
Terrible.
It caused that kid to have an absolute meltdown
Xerxes
on his YouTube channel
as well.
Exactly. I was going to say something like, Cas could probably back this up, but most of United games, I watched mainly the top 6, and United don't really. He might disagree, but United actually create chances. For me, it's the same front three that are just missing them. So to answer your question, I think if they did have more clinical strikers, that's nothing to do with Amorim. That's down to individual quality. Because like Charlie just said, Xerxes' header, that should be in the back of the net. It should be. Garnacho putting it in Rowe's head. It's Garnacho. I feel like there's another few I might be. Casemiro had one, but it was kind of hard. He had to adjust, and I think it went on the roof of the net. But when I watch United, they do create chances, but you just know when it falls to their forward line, they're not going to hit the back of the net. And remember I said to you before the game, Sab, I've got a bet on Spurs to win. In the 80th minute, I cashed out because I genuinely felt United are going to score. United are going to score by hook or by crook because
you went all Spursy on it. You went Spursy, didn't you?
I went Spursy, yeah. But I just think once they get I even just think one player. And this is why I think that Chedu Obi, the guy they got from Arsenal, look, I'm not saying he would have come and changed the game, but there was no real risk. Like the forwards weren't doing anything as it
should have played 20 minutes.
Yeah, he should have been on about 20 minutes earlier. There was no harm in doing that. But I just think the minute they get someone clinical in that front line, because I actually rate Xerxes. I've always thought he's a good player. But
I thought he was good on the ball with the way he carried the ball. I thought he was all right yesterday. But
the issue is you need runners beyond him, and they don't. And Delo don't get up enough when he's on the right hand side and whatnot. And when Dorgu's there, he's the only one that fed him, which was annoying. I'm like, why are you feeding him? Why is Maguire another player that's feeding him? What was this at? Sometimes it can come through the manager. I think selection's awful at times. But at the same time, I just don't subscribe to wanting him out. Like, I just don't feel it in myself to say I want him out when I feel like I see a bit more of a major problem at United. It's just like the board. I feel like even the players they brought in the summer, I don't hate none of them. I actually like Agate. I actually like Euro as a, in hindsight, should you have bought a youngster only now? Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I actually like the Lick Mazraoui. I actually like Xerxes, but it doesn't fit what the manager wants. I don't mind him. I like Dorgu. I'd like they're trying to go for the youngsters you got to do that anyway. That should be on the side regardless. It's just everything else is so beyond crap. I just can't see beyond it. I'll be really honest. I think the only thing I don't like is that he needs to get that line and push it up. I don't get if Maguire play to their strengths at least, innit? Maguire, you're gonna either do the low block or the high. Which one are you gonna do? You either got Maguire in the team or you don't. You can't have a mixture of players that have different styles a little bit when you've got other available players. Like for me, I'm dropping Maguire absolutely, and this is why I didn't want him in the first place. He had a couple good games, got gassed of it. Simple little thing once again, gets an extension. Well, triggered anyways. It's only a year, but
just on the gaffer, right, Cass? Obviously, I'm not calling for him to go. I don't think he should go. If you genuinely finished 16th, do you think there's a chance the club might make a decision and get rid of him, or do you think whatever happens, he's going to be here?
Well, if you're going to get rid of him, then you might as well do it now. Like if that's the case,
true.
If you're going to do it, I'd rather
you get rid of a manager that hasn't had his own players though.
No, you can't.
Well,
you
I say the same.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about this his own players thing. I don't know about it because obviously, I personally believe they started recruiting some players that would have fitted Amorim. I don't think all those signings they made in the summer was for Ten Hag. I don't believe that. I believe they really wanted him out, but they just moved too slow on the uptake, and then they was put into a position where they had to. Which, in hindsight, they might as well have just kept him, because I personally don't think that Ten Hag would have had them swinging in 15th below Everton and all them things there, innit? But by the way, for me, I don't care, how good this brother's system is, or how good it's meant to be, If you are a good coach, you adapt to your scenario, You adapt to it. You adapt to the strengths that are around you. You go, cool. By the way, this is the way that I want to play in the long run, and you start working that into the players' brains. However you do that, but you're like, cool, we're 15th. Like, we're actually 15th. Like, we're Manchester United, we're below Everton. What are we doing? Cool. I'm gonna you get me, firm it up, because look, and you know, I don't want to make it about Arsenal, but it's the best example that I can give. Yeah, Arteta came in with a clear way that he wants to play. He immediately, the brother with no experience as a manager, no experience as a first team coach, immediately recognized the players that he had at his disposal, the tools he had at his disposal, could not execute the way he wanted to play football, could not execute his system or style of play. He adapted to what was around him. We had 5 at the back. He won an FA Cup. Literally. And then what proceeded, because he won that FA Cup, whether now, as an Arsenal fan, you think it's right or not, it put credit in the bank for him higher up. Because they're like, okay, we see you can do something. We're believing in, and we're seeing what you're doing behind the scenes. We're believing. So he was given time. He was given some of the players that he wanted, some of the tools that would allow him to play the way he wants to play. And now, yeah, whether you think it's a good or a bad thing, this is the 3rd season in a row Arsenal are challenging for the league. Whether we win it or not is a different story, but it's the 3rd season of consistently challenging for the Premier League. So I don't want to hear nothing about, you have to be stubborn and stick to your style of play if you want to get it into the culture, because we saw Ange Postecoglou do that. And I don't know about every Tottenham fan, but all it's showing me is Ange doesn't know how to coach another way, because every moment he adapts, bro, everybody at Tottenham's lost. Nobody knows what to do.
He hasn't adapted.
Oh, but the difference is, right, and look, the difference is with Postecoglou, he's been there nearly 2 years and not adapted. At the moment, I just feel that it's really dangerous. I'm not saying anyone said this per se. I think it's really dangerous when fans are calling for a manager's head after 3 months. Mad. I think it's really dangerous, because what does that do for the next manager coming in? The next manager coming in, what does that precedent, does that set for that manager? Is, wow, I've got 3 months or I'm gone. Like, I get it if you're a big club like Man United, but like Kaz said, this isn't the Man United I grew up with. This isn't the Man United I grew up with that won week in, week out and destroyed everyone. So I just feel that I agree with you, Hooks. I do. I think, yeah, you've got to tweak, you've got to change, you've got to adapt. But I just think Man United have signed so poorly over the last 2 years that this manager's come in and gone, wow, this is shit. This is shit.
Can I reply to that as well, though? With Arsenal, the difference is, so if Man United had a Aubameyang of 2019 and a Lacazette, how many more chances do we finish in this current side?
Oh, right by the way, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we are doing that. No,
we're not. No, we're not. Arteta walked into a much worse and much more toxic. It doesn't matter about Aubameyang and Lacazette.
I'm not sure he did.
I don't think he did. Let me reply to this quickly and finish that part as well, yeah? Because Aubameyang was still scoring until he didn't, and then he got rid of him. The thing is, he's still a finisher, a much better finisher than Højlund. And Lacazette is much better than what else you got available in that front line. Maybe Bar Ahmad at that point. The thing is,
wasn't really scoring though.
If you want to say, coach want to coach these days, yeah. But the fact is, that's all bullshit. Because last time I checked, Man City were on a downward spiral, and people were questioning Pep as a coach, and they should have coached his available squad, even though they said he should play more reserve because you don't have to play. But they went out and spent 200 million, yeah. Got Nico Gonzalez, just a profile, a Marmoush, another profile, a Kusanov, who just absolutely locked up Isak out of all strikers, by the way, most informed striker in the whole league. And all of a sudden, look what they're doing again. They're starting to evolve a little bit more. They go toe-to-toe with Man City, Real Madrid. They go smack up Newcastle somehow, and they're starting to get more results. The thing is, they were losing. Pretty much anyone can go there and win. They would win some cup games or whatever they were doing. But it wasn't all that, was it? They dropped from 2nd to 3rd to 4th to 5th to 6th, and then they climbed a little bit up again just above Chelsea. That's the difference. But you should, if Pep can't coach world-class players at his disposal, as people would say, even though he had some injuries in that as well, by the way, then what about every other coach then? Because he's the best coach in the world.
Do you know what, Hooks? This is where I have to back up what Kaz said, because if you got a finisher, you still have that puncher's chance. Literally, you look at this United team. you're thinking to yourself, who can actually finish with that Arsenal team? You're right. Arteta obviously did well to win a trophy in his first 6 months. Yeah, you weren't really good defensively. We saw all of the embarrassing.
Diabolical, bro.
Yeah, he was.
Diabolical,
let me land on my point because you had Socrates and all
Mustafi, them man, Rob Holding, crazy, bro.
And that's why you finished 8th twice, because going the other way you were poor, but you still didn't really have that much problems going the other way because you still had, like Kaz said, the Lacazette, the Aubameyang. When you look at
in his first full season, though,
both ways.
Yeah,
They're poor both ways.
But in the first full season, in his first full season, Aubameyang wasn't snapping.
Thing is,
in Arteta's first full season, those first 6 months where he won the FA Cup, cool.
Yeah.
Aubameyang was on fire.
Yeah,
he was on fire. But that very next season, bro, we was all over the place.
But then
the COVID season, oh my god,
hooks.
My god,
this is where I credit Saka and Smith Rowe, because yes, maybe your strikers weren't prolific, but then you have other players stepping in. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Smith Rowe got 11 league goals, no penalties.
Yeah.
And then Saka came into the fold and started scoring.
But that's Arteta. Like, do you know what I mean? That's Arteta and the coaching staff raising their level, and that's what I'm talking about. Raising. The thing is, when Aubameyang stopped being Aubameyang for Arsenal didn't have a striker to. We didn't even have a clinical forward to rely on. Because the Lacazette, he went on the same roller coaster down, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Like the revisionism is Arsenal, literally from when Aubameyang fell off the cliff, we was relying on Saka and Smith Rowe. Like, and you have to give that to Arteta, because to raise them to a point where they're keeping a Premier League team, even though it was poor, because we shouldn't be finishing 8th. Arsenal should never be finishing 8th. But he worked with what he had, and then we moved on.
Yeah, but it's
now,
funny.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
Can I ask you a question, Hooks? Don't we have to sometimes look at the bigger picture in all of this as well? Like, this isn't that Amorim's come into a Man United that have been really, really successful for the last 5-10 years and had really good teams and done. This is a Man United that has been a bit of This is for Man U standards. This has been a mess for years and years and years. If you want a manager that's going to come in and sort all this out, we can look at the first 3 months. But like Kaz said, right now, Man United are not going down. Man United are not qualifying for Europe via the league unless they go on a nice 10, 15 game winning run. Same as us, by the way. Right? So right now.
But that's part of the problem. But that's actually part of the problem. So basically, I'm not saying Manchester United should go out and sack him. I'm saying I would. Because if I'm the owner of Manchester United, I don't care whatever project I'm trying to buy into. Like, I shouldn't be 50. I shouldn't be below. I'm Manchester United. I am the biggest club in England. Yeah, it don't matter who's won what recently or whatever. I am the biggest club in England. Yeah, there's a certain level. Yeah. Now, cool. If Ineos, and the Glazers have decided we're gonna back this guy to the end, regardless of how much it costs. Regardless of where we end up in the season, regardless of European qualification, he's going to get the same amount of money to spend in the transfer window. Regardless, then cool. Keep him right off the season, whatever. But I have a sneaky suspicion that if Manchester United do not make Champions League football, that transfer window kitty cut in half. These men are already making like 1,000 plus people at their club redundant to save on P's.
Not these really. Fact checked it right though. We employ 3 times as much as the ordinary club. What
does that have to do with about over 1,000 people are getting made redundant? Was that wrong?
What do you mean? Because we employ more than we should. We've been over.
I've been made redundant. I know why people get made redundant.
Yeah, I know, but even Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Arsenal, Chelsea, we employ the most people. If a business says we can cut where we need to cut, that's normal in business.
Because
there's no point saving someone's job. I'm going to give you a job for the fact of having a job when somebody else can do your job. That's how it works.
Yeah, but that's not how.
If that's the case, Kaz, if that's the case, then that's okay. That may not necessarily be the case. It may mean that the people remaining have to do more more work.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he
That
should,
is
and he
always
should
the
because
case.
it's been because
And
when
then
they
they
done
always
do that work
when they done the
because it's too much work
audits,
for them to
when they done the
do.
audits, and someone come around and assessed everyone's jobs, they say too many people are getting away with doing nothing. Pretty much, they're getting paid for basically doing not much. They're
I'm just
lazing
saying.
around. You're talking about culture of a club, though, Hooks. Yeah,
I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it's very bad for optics. Yeah, for a brother to buy shares in your club. Yeah, to take over football operations, and he's making people redundant. I'm just saying optically that looks very bad.
And withdrawing charity.
And as well on that, Hooks, right? When they're making people redundant, that's like their livelihood, and yet they're paying like Casemiro 350 bags a week or whatever it is, and Rashford and that, and these guys
are crazy.
Yeah, but business don't care about what your feelings are. Who cares if you're feeling?
But you're not just a business. You're a football club.
Yeah, it's a business. It's a football
bro,
now.
But it's not just a business, bro.
It is.
Bro, if we're gonna, so because it's just a business, regardless of what happens, you should always just invest in your club. You should never do that. Oh, I'm not going to put any money into the club because it's a business, right?
Yeah, but we don't get money put in a club. Glazers never put no money into it.
I'm talking about your fans specifically. Your fans, because it's a business. It's a business. No one should ever not buy anything from the Manchester United.
But the business, the label is just football, bro. It's still a business. You think Levy bought Spurs because he does it for his own?
But this is why culture is important. This is why
pride. He's got pride. Do you think you might get milk to go pay for the Rams? And all this kind of stuff.
This is why culture is important. This is why culture is important.
So let me tell you now, yeah. If someone who gives a fuck about that? If everyone goes out there, someone and gets his professionals to look at the club, you want to change a culture, you find that you don't need to pay them. They're not really doing their jobs to a high degree and everything like that. You have to make some tough decisions because the financial situation of a business is going downhill. Then to change that culture and to save the finances for a club, you have to go and make that call. That's why a lot of the top earners at United are getting chopped as well, because this is where we're at. You can't just keep paying people because you got a heart and you feel like, oh my God, we got responsibility to keep all these people at work because we got the best interests of the people. No, they don't. No one does. They're not your friends. They're not your friends.
But the people that you're making redundant, their yearly salaries do not even scratch the surface, bro.
It all counts.
They don't even scratch the surface. Do you know what making them people redundant is like? Yeah, it's like me.
I don't care if they're made redundant.
It's like me walking down the road and I see a homeless man and I give him the change out of my wallet.
Respectfully, if you're good at your work, you can go find another job. Respectfully, I couldn't give a toss about these man's livelihoods and stuff. They're not my friends. I'm so human. It's a business. At the end of the day, if you have the car,
it's important, bro.
If you win, culture is important, but I want to win. So whatever happens behind closed doors, if they make a decision because they think,
but you're not winning. You cut all these men in your 15th.
So what? You have to start somewhere, bro. Do you have to start somewhere? It's not my problem. That's the only one where I look at that and say that's disgusting. But all football clubs are doing it. So it's like that's why it says, if they're doing it, we're doing it. It's just
they even cut Sir Alex Pease.
Yeah, but guess what? He's been getting paid off by the Glazers for no reason, 3 million per year as an ambassador when he's getting over it. We all know why he's getting paid off, to keep his mouth shut. Because guess what? He's the one that got them in power in the first place. It's not unknown news, my bro. He don't deserve that money. Why do you have an obligation to pay off someone 3 million per year?
He's
to
a
be an ambassador
multi-millionaire anyway.
It's PUBG's son. An ambassador of Man United getting paid 3 million per year. No, it's to keep your mouth shut. Because the only person that can shut the Glazers up and make everyone unite is Alex Ferguson. The only one. That's the only way every single Manchester United fan listen. And the thing is, it's funny,
Has he spoken up since being cut?
No, he hasn't. He's still at the ground, bro. They're probably paying him off on the side. I'm still in agree. I still think that.
Let's move on from Man United, shall we? Let's move on from Man United. We'll revisit this when he's sacked in the next 2 weeks. We'll revisit this. Guys, girls, people in the chat, I haven't asked yet. It's been 40 minutes. Come on, let's smash those like buttons. It's really, really simple. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We are heading towards 17K. We're just slowly getting there. By the way, anyone talking about Man U getting relegated, I don't know what they're looking at. If you look at the Premier League table, the bottom 3, the bottom 4 are so far adrift of the rest, it's unbelievable.
Even when it happened with Spurs, I never even entertained any of United and Spurs. The swing is literally 12 points. You'll literally need them teams to win 4 in a bounce, and you lose 4, which it's just crazy.
I still think it's more likely than it was Leicester winning the Premier League, though. So
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
things can happen in football. Yeah,
sure, but
I've
been hearing this
they
all year,
could lose every game. They're bad enough.
I reckon Man United. Here we go. I'll say this.
But those teams below won't win enough points, even if they lost every game.
Yeah, I know.
There we go. This is my point. Man United could lose every game between now and the end of the season. And Ipswich Town, who have won 3 games in 25, we're now saying that Ipswich Town need to win. What are they? 12 points behind this Man United.
At least 4 games.
Right. So this Ipswich Town team would need to win 4. Man United win none. If Man United win 3 of their last,
Savva, 29 won't keep you up, will it?
No, mate. I'm not. Well, it will. 29 will keep you up this season as it's going.
Fair enough, then. Fair enough. In that case, you're right. Yeah. I just looked at 29 and thought that must be the lowest ever.
Sure, but what I don't get is when people are saying things like, oh, well, if Ipswich and Leicester go on a run, it's like, well. Look between them.
No chance.
Between them, they've won 7 games out of 50 between them.
As an expert of that part of the table, let me tell you, that doesn't happen. Teams don't go on 3 or 4 winning game runs. I can tell you that for sure.
Let's move to your team then, just for a few seconds, or for a few minutes. Wolfie has assured us. He's assured us that you're finishing above Arsenal, that you are in a title race, and you're 13 points off the top.
Mate.
Hang on. Let me finish. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
I was going to back jump in and defend myself, but go on.
I know it's not you, but has Wolfie maybe gone a little bit too cray with these predictions? Because now you're 13 off the top, and you are now 6 behind Arsenal, and with a 17 worse goal difference. So is your title charge over?
Well, you're talking to me, aren't you? When I came on last week, I said I'm looking at 5th, 6th in all likelihood. And that would be if we continue to do well. Of course, we're not winning the title. I mean, it's a ridiculous notion now. Maybe a month ago, it wasn't such a ridiculous notion, but it certainly is now.
Yes, it was.
It was, Dan. Well, okay.
It's always been a ridiculous notion that Nottingham Forest are going to win this
I'll tell you why not, Savva, from my point of view, and I'm being ever so honest with you, mate. I was there when Forest came out of the 2nd division and when they beat the mighty Liverpool to win the league championship in our first season. I've actually seen us do it. So I've literally, with my own eyes, seen us do that very thing.
Yeah.
And that was more, I can promise you, that was more of an achievement than it would have been Forest winning it this year. Because Liverpool were untouchable and we finished 3rd in the Division 2 the season before. Yeah. So, I can understand from your point of view, having not seen it, that you think it's ridiculous.
No, hang on. No, sorry, hang on. You're going into Wolfie realms here. Where is? I'm hoping if I say his name enough, he might just appear. That's what
He normally does.
He normally does. So, look, just because a miracle happened back in the day, at what stage this season did you look at Liverpool above you and
you're talking to me
and think we can win this league? Like, really?
No, I never thought that. Like say, you're talking to me as if I'm Wolfie. I never thought that. Try and understand there's a difference. Now, I know Wolfie very well. We speak every day. I know him very well. Even I will find it difficult to tell you whether he actually believes it or not. I know he doesn't think we're going to now. That's a little exclusive for you. He doesn't think we're going to do it now.
Shock horror breaking news.
Big.
I mean, when Man City play,
what's happening? What's happening? And I suppose what I want to get is what's happening now. What constitutes a good season? Because Man City are now 3 points behind you, and I'm sorry, I'll argue this with anyone. Man City are going to fly past you in no time. What constitutes a good season? And if you don't get Europe at all, from where you've been after 23, 24 games of the season, does that then become a bad year because expectations change, or is it still a great year because you were in a relegation battle last year?
Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, it would be disappointing, but not a bad year, if that made sense. You can be disappointed having been in such a commanding position at one point to drop out European places altogether, but that will still be a great season for us. Let's be honest.
Sure,
finishing 8th is dream world for us. You know what I mean? But obviously, expectations do change, and I can understand why Forest fans would be, sort of categorising it as a disastrous season. It wouldn't be a disastrous season. It will be a good season if we finished 8th, but disappointing that we didn't qualify for Europe. Personally, I think we will. I still think we have every chance of finishing in the top 5 because we're not the only team that's dropping points. That's the difference this year. Chelsea are dropping points. Newcastle are dropping points. Villa are dropping loads of points. So they're the teams we would have expected to have been in contention with for that 5th position, if you like.
Yeah.
We still are in contention because they're dropping points. They're not going on runs. So we have every chance. I am a little worried because we've lost 2 of our last 3 games. We've looked very poor away from home in those last 2 games, which is one of our strong points. For some reason, Nuno decided to play a 3 at the back on Saturday, which totally didn't work. And he played a left-footed central defender as the right-sided defender of a 3, which makes no sense because you're always trying to tackle with your wrong foot. I don't know why he did that, and I hope he doesn't do it again. What's that?
Do you think he's got a plan B?
I hope that he doesn't do it again. We did, I smiled when he said 4-4-2 because we actually played a 4-4-2 at home against Fulham, and it was our worst home performance of the season, and we lost 1-0. And we said then, I hope he never does that again. And that's how I'm feeling about 3 at the back at the moment. I hope he doesn't do it again because when we play 4 at the back, we're solid. Especially against Fulham, because Fulham play with a lot of wing play, a lot of possession in midfield, and a lot of wing play. So what he's doing is he was exposing our centre back 1-on-1 every time because our wing backs were playing too far forward, whereas normally they would have been 4. Yeah. So,
see, the way I look at it, I don't know what the rest of the panel think is. I had the conversation, I don't know if you remember, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, guys, with Wolfie, and I pulled up 6 or 7 fixtures that they had coming up, and I said, this is make or break. And Wolfie, everyone said that all season. And so far, the first one of those being Fulham, being a very tough game, right?
Oh, I can't say Brighton. I said the first one was Brighton.
Hang on, I'm going backwards to the 3. So the first one I picked was Bournemouth, which you lost. You then beat Brighton, fair play. You've now lost to Fulham. And your games coming up are Newcastle United away, Arsenal at home. Then you've got Ipswich, in the Premier League. Then you've got Man City at home, and then Ipswich away. It's going to be, guys, isn't it? Like, it's quick. Sorry, getting my tongue tied here. It's amazing how quickly 2 or 3 games can completely change the landscape of where you are in the table if you start to lose a few. And that's what I said will happen with Forest. And I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, these 4 games coming up, you're absolutely, well, including the Fulham game. We've lost that one, obviously. I think Newcastle have lost their last couple of home games, I think. They've certainly letting a lot of goals in. So we won their 3-1 last season when we were terrible. So there's no reason to think we can't get a point at Newcastle. It's not impossible to get a point at Newcastle.
Sure.
Arsenal at home, I think, will win because Arsenal can't bloody score.
No,
and they definitely won't score. I'm sorry, Hooks. Love you guys,
we can just get that one. And
they will not score. They will not score against us. If we play a back 4, they won't score.
Oh, we won't. Oh, we won't. Hey,
they're gonna beat you.
Hey, wait, you. I look.
Who's playing? By the way, who's playing? Just for Mr.
Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. Look,
Forest at home to Arsenal.
Look. I need to make this very clear.
Against Leicester, mate. They were shocking.
I got to make this very clear, because a lot of people from certain fan bases have been getting very carried away this season. One of which, being Newcastle. One of which being Nottingham Forest. One of which and a lot of them exist in this one. Chelsea.
One of which being Arsenal.
Chelsea. Now,
You got carried away with Carabao Cup in that, no?
Wait, I need everybody to understand this very clearly. Yeah, there is a massive gap between Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, and everybody else in the league. Man City are currently on their worst run in the last 10 years. By the way, they're fourth. Yeah, Liverpool and Arsenal are not dropping out of first and second, and if they do,
I didn't say that.
The only team that is taking them over is Man City. The only, I think people need to understand, why I believe,
No, Hawks, we weren't talking about positions. We were talking about specific game.
I'm explaining the chasm, and it's because of the chasm. You got to understand, Nottingham Forest aren't fighting for anything.
Okay.
All due respect, you're not fighting for anything because I'm pretty sure a lot of, and obviously your players want to and manager want to aim for as high as they can, but they would be more than happy if they ended up in Europa League.
No, but Hooks,
they would be more than happy.
Haven't you heard our owner?
Hooks,
I'm fighting for the league, big man. Bro, my players are going Super Saiyan, bro. It's different.
Hooks.
I can't wait.
Let me stop you there. You're being very disingenuous because it's
no. Hey, Romz. All due respect, brother, man. You don't need to worry about me because you got Marmouche, in the very soon, bro.
No. We've actually got Villa Park before. I don't get that in my head. We've actually
one game at a time, yeah. Okay, I hear it.
Listen, the reason why I'm saying you're being disingenuous, saying Forest will be happy finishing wherever, because expectations change. They've been in good form. They've only got one game a week. I still think they were saying they want to shoot for the stars and land on the moon. I still think they want to aim as high as they can possibly get.
Do you think that they believe they can win the league? Come on, let's be honest, Rob. Do you think they believe genuinely?
He wasn't saying league. Sorry, not he.
No. I'm not talking about the fans. I'm talking about the players and the manager. Do you genuinely believe that they think they can win the league?
No, but I feel like they can get that top 4, top 5. Cool. That's what we're speaking about, not the league.
So now you see Arsenal,
Yeah.
Do you believe, or do you think that the players and the manager genuinely believe that they can still win the league?
They have to think.
The manager, yes. Some of the players.
No, I don't think they do.
So we're fighting for completely, entirely different things. So when we roll up to Nottingham, when we roll up to the Forest, bro, there's gonna be a lot of trees being chopped down.
Can I interject quickly? Because I don't understand one thing. You're only saying this on the basis of you when you struggled against Leicester out of all sides, that front three. If my front three can beat Leicester twice, so can yours, even if it is with your second lot. The thing is, you got no sample size of Sterling, who had to come off, a Marino, who did get 2 very nice goals, by the way, and a Wanyeri who pulled out. And you think that's going to get you over the line of a defensive Forest? All right.
And we always beat Arsenal at City Ground anyway. It's nothing new.
I just think
we beat you last year when we were fucking rubbish. We beat you.
Okay.
Can I throw a spanner in the works? I'm not saying I agree or disagree either side, but Hooks, to your point, couldn't somebody argue that yes, you've got something to play for that Forest haven't in that respect, but surely with that expectation comes pressure. So surely the pressure. I'm not saying you can't win there. I think, of course, Arsenal are a very good team. You can win there, but surely the pressure that you're going to feel at the City Ground, I nearly forgot their name there, at the City Ground is going to be very different to the pressure that Nuno's feeling and Forest are feeling at the pressure at the City Ground, because for them it's a great, as Ant said, it's a good season. It's a great season for you guys. You lose that, it's just another game in which you fail to get nearer the title. So
even draw.
Last season, hang on, Hooks. Last season, we were the team that officially ended Arsenal's interest in the league. And we were nearly relegated last season. We finished them last season. That was the season when they could no longer make the points up.
No, that was the season. That was the season before. And in that season, I don't know about other Arsenal fans, but I didn't think we was going to win the league. At no point in that season did I think we was going to win.
Did we beat you last season as well?
I don't remember. Maybe.
Oh, I don't remember.
FA Cup, I remember that one. Forest.
We beat them in the FA Cup as well when we were a second division side. Yeah.
I hear. Did you win it?
No, but we beat you.
Okay, then so what does it matter, bro? You can't do that. Wait a minute.
We're more active in the FA Cup than you are. We have got something to fight for. We're the highest ranked team in the FA Cup, mate.
Wait a minute.
I prefer Antwan and Wolfie. Can we just
wait a minute?
Hang on, you're the highest ranked team in the FA Cup.
Yes.
They are. They're third.
They are officially. They are.
Oh, what? By league position.
By the way, if we win it this year, we go joint, so you can't have that one no more.
Aren't Man City in the FA Cup?
Yeah, they're
below us in the league.
Man City? Yeah, Man City are fourth. I think you meant Man League.
Is that what we're doing now, Romz?
Yeah, league position, mate. Yeah, the highest ranked team in the
Got it.
We just had a.
You get my point, though. You get my point.
Yeah,
we have more chance of winning it than Arsenal do, don't we?
Yeah. Of course, we're not in it. I hear it, but the thing is, you all
don't say
you're all gonna deny it.
And we're happy to be in the bloody league.
You're all gonna deny it.
That's very big. That's very arrogant.
No.
Hang on, folks. Double European Cup winners, mind you. Not that you've ever done it. Football is about history. Just because Tottenham haven't won the league since 1961, you don't need to come on here and be nasty to us.
I'm Nottingham Forest's biggest supporter. I've been back in Nottingham Forest more than anybody, bro.
I'm Arsenal's biggest supporter.
No. So no one's gonna fire shots at me, yeah. And by the way,
I'm kidding me. Don't take it seriously.
You guys saw live in the flesh how everybody linked up to beef the Arsenal brother. Everybody linked. Oh, Nottingham Forest. Oh, do you not think they're going to beat you? Oh, not in the Forest. Look, first this guy, linked up. He did it. Then this brother over here did it, yeah. And then this brother over here, he was getting in the little sneaky sneaks, yeah. And then over here,
why you know what you're doing?
I asked them sneaky questions because everybody hates my club, and it's cool because when I lift the trophy. At the end of the season, I have all your numbers.
So you're winning it. So
no one believes you no more.
I have all your numbers.
Clip this.
I have all your numbers.
No one believes. The thing is, no one believes him. I wonder why people come back at him. But he wants to do main character syndrome. All of that.
I have all your numbers.
By the way,
this is what we keep gloating back to, right? By the way, this is what Ant and Wolfie keep gloating back to.
I know, it's crazy.
I am 42 years of age, right? This is before I was born, right? Like this is before
I was there, Savva. I was there. For me, it's living history. I was there. I was at the finals. I was there. I watched it. I saw it. Just because you're a young boy.
I need to go. By the way,
been called a young boy for a long time. Big up.
I need to go. Don't let Charlie get away that his club has only got 4 wins in the last 14 or something like that.
Let me just say this, right? If Tottenham next season, in all seriousness, if Tottenham, say in 2 years' time, won the Premier League, did the quad. Are you saying that you can only enjoy that now, and when you're
you'd be 100, mate, you'd be loving it.
And say how great it was.
And listen, no. Listen, I get it, but I think the difference is when we're going to say double European champions, and we're going back 40. Like what we're going back 45, 46 years or whatever it is, it doesn't really lend anything to the current argument.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the last decade, and sure, the last 2 decades, sure, but when we're going back to, before I was born. I was born
can't you understand when people are saying to you, your club is irrelevant, your club is small, your club is insignificant? Of course, you're going to respond to that. You're not going to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, you're right. I'll just be quiet."
No one said you're irrelevant. Who said you're irrelevant?
No, but people do say it though.
We were until this season.
Well, you just said it. You just said that you're.
I'm not stupid.
I think Forest are going to end up either 3rd or 4th. This is what I believe this season, isn't it? 3rd or 4th. Yeah, 3rd or 4th. 3rd or 4th. I think they're going to, because the thing is, like Man City even though they're doing a bit of resurgence and they're going to punch up Liverpool, throwing it out there.
Yeah, they could get knocked out Champions League hooks.
They will
get knocked out.
Yeah, they've got a lot of hard games. You don't want them to get knocked out, Romz, because if they get knocked out, they're coming to face you with anger.
True.
You don't want that.
But I back my team to you know what I mean.
Yeah. We go find out.
So you think so? I'll ask the question again. We ask it every week. I'm going to ask it again. Anyone thinks Forest will finish in the top 4?
Yeah,
I think they'll be 5th.
I think they're going to finish 7th or 8th. I think they're going to fall.
So
You've
Sam, been saying that all season, Savva. You've been saying that all season.
But what I've said is, what I actually said was that there's a huge difference between doing well for 10, 15, 20, 25. The business end of the season for me is where you see who can cope, who can't, and your players haven't been there. Your manager's not been there. That's no disrespect. And this is why so many Arsenal fans have hated me for years. I've gone on to all these panel shows in the last couple of years saying why I think Man City will beat Arsenal every season has been they've got the know-how. They've been there. They've seen it. They've done it. They've got over the line. They've got the better manager. And then people go, oh, you're a hater. I'm not a hater. I just think, and I might be wrong, and in 3-4 weeks when you've had those 3 or 4 games that I just mentioned, let's see how many points you've got out of Man City, Arsenal.
Look, in all seriousness, I do agree with what you're saying. I do agree with what you're saying, but we are significantly above 6th place. So not only have we got to lose, those teams below us have got to win games. Yeah. And as I said earlier on, they're very inconsistent.
You're not Newcastle, significantly above 6th. You're not significant. You're 4 points above 6th.
4. Oh yeah, we should have won yesterday. Then we'd be 7. That was in my brain.
Not significant, is it?
No, you're right. No, I'll take that back. But it still means that they've got to win 2 games that we've got to lose. And as I say, on a normal season, I would agree. But in this season, the other teams are so. I mean, look at Chelsea. They've just dropped off a cliff.
I'm going to change.
That's no disrespect to you, Charlie. But
would you like to move the conversation towards Chelsea? Would that make you feel better? Shall we move it on?
There's not time for that.
I'm going to change my prediction. I think Forest will get 5th, actually. I'm just looking at the teams 5th. But that's still, with the coefficient, I think that'll be enough.
I think it will be, yeah.
I think you get 5th. We're moving on to Chelsea, but I think City get 3rd. I agree with Hooks. Not that they'll smash us, but they'll go on a run. City just have the know-how, and they look like they found that balance with Nico. I think he was excellent at the weekend at Gonzalez. And Marmoush coming into form. But you might think this is the outside shout. Now, some people say I've backed Chelsea all year, but I still think Chelsea's scraped into that 4th position. I still think they scraped into the 4th.
Let's use that. Let's segue into it. Charlie, Romz, there you go. Romz, who's secretly got a blue Chelsea shirt on underneath his hoodie. He thinks that you're still going to, did you say top 4? Yeah?
Yeah, 4th. Chelsea get 4th.
Chelsea going to get 4th. Charlie, talk to me. Are Chelsea getting 4th?
No, I can't see it, mate. I think I've got to be honest. Like, I know we're staring. Like, back to Ant's earlier point, just briefly on like how the league is lacking consistency or lacking quality, whatever you want to say. We've won 2 wins. We've got 2 wins in 9 Premier League matches, and we're still 1 point behind 4th.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Like we shouldn't be anywhere near that race given this current run of form. We shouldn't really be in the conversation. But somehow we're a point off and we're playing terribly. We've beaten West Ham and we've beaten a crap Wolves side in our last 9 matches. We just got absolutely rinsed by Brighton on Friday night. Didn't have a single shot on target, and yet there is still a chance that we could somehow finish in the top 4. But I don't think we will, because I can't see how we're gonna get enough wins on the board, given how we're playing, given the injuries in the team, given the lack of balance in the squad, given the lack of experience, the lack of winning mentality, the lack of quality to a certain extent in the dugout. It's problematic for me. Like, if we're gonna get Europa League, we probably really need to win the Conference League to guarantee that, because I'm not fully confident we can finish top 6 given our current run of form. Because you look at how we were playing earlier in the season, right? We were doing really well. Now, since really December, We haven't played well once in any matches, and it doesn't. And for me, it doesn't look like we've got any idea how that slump's going to be arrested. Like we go to Villa on Saturday, no chance of we getting anything in that game. Absolutely no chance.
But Charlie, can I ask the fact that you're only 1 point off fourth and you have been in this bad run again? I'm just asking questions for the panel. Think I like every team. I'm just trying to flip side. Do you not think that there's that possibility then that okay, well you might at some point you're going to have got this bad run out the way, and law of averages tell you that at some stage you are going to go on a better run, and you're positioned nicely to do that. Like it might not be the next game. But, you've left yourselves an opportunity.
There's an opportunity, but we've ruined it by what we did in January transfer window. We actively made the squad worse, and Man City improved their squad. Villa improved their squad. And, yes, we've left ourselves with a chance, but can we really say that Chelsea right now are going to finish above Newcastle, are going to finish above Aston Villa? Are they going to reel in Nottingham Forest? Bournemouth as well.
Charlie,
crazy.
The thing is, a problem with modern day football fans, I feel like we just live in the here and now and we don't look at the bigger picture, because what Savva literally said was my logic. The fact you are a point or two off top four is a big indicator to how bad everyone else is. Actually, maybe not bad's the wrong choice word, how inconsistent everyone else is, right?
Correct.
And Sav literally just mentioned experience. Players that have been there and done it before. Sav's logic for Forest not necessarily getting top six, I think you said 7th or 8th, it's because they've got players that haven't been there and done it. Your Chelsea squad, cool. I know you didn't clinch top 4, but if you looked at your form from, I think, Christmas time to end of season last season, you still got the personnel more equipped, in my opinion, than a Newcastle and whatnot to get the top, to get that 4th position. And I also agree with the law of averages as well. You can't get much worse. I could be wrong. I can have
they can. Yeah, Romz, yes, they can.
I don't think they can. I think they start picking up a bit of form. Because Hooks, difference with Chelsea and the rest in the top 4, right? I actually think Liverpool and Arsenal are going to have a deep run in Champions League. They can just rest players for the conference. Let's be honest, they can rest players for the conference.
We're going out of options now for that.
Romz, you're forgetting a very, very important thing. Yeah, that I think separates Nottingham Forest and Chelsea, even Newcastle and Chelsea,
striker,
even Bournemouth and Chelsea, is that Chelsea's defense is god awful, and their attack is currently not making up for it. Nottingham Forest, good defense. Newcastle, defense is fairly good, pretty good, but they got Isak and Gordon, so their attack can always make up for it. Yeah, they're going to lose games here and there. Everybody, it's only Arsenal and Liverpool that have lost minimal games. Everybody else is losing the normal amount of games.
But let me ask you this question.
Not for us.
Chelsea get better. So you're basically thinking it's going to get worse before it gets better? Because I don't think it's going to be that. Oh, fair enough.
I think it will get worse because we go to Aston Villa on Saturday. Don't get me wrong. We could get a result, but given if you've got to look at how it is right now, it's unlikely we're going to get anything out of that game, given how we're playing and given how Villa are playing and the additions they've made to their squad. We then have an opportunity with our next 2 games after that, Southampton and Leicester at home. If we get 6 points from them, which we absolutely should and must. then maybe there's a different conversation. But the reason why, Romz, I disagree with you is because if you look at the fixtures we've got left, right, we've still got to go to Emirates. We've still got to go to St. James's Park. We've still got to go to the City Ground. We've still got to face you guys. We've still got to face Man United. I know they're crap, but we've got a dreadful record.
Last game of the season, Charlie.
So,
last game of the season, we play you.
We've got 5-6 difficult games to play in terms of teams that are in that position. We go to Villa at this weekend, as I said. There's an opportunity to take points off the teams in and around us, but there's also a chance that we could, fall further adrift. I'm not saying it's impossible, by the way, that we won't finish in the top 4, we won't get Champions League football. I just think it's going to be very difficult given what happened in January, given our current injuries and given the options we've got available. We go into this weekend, right? We've got no centre forward, so we're having to play we're going to have to play Nkunku there, who's not a 9 and he's useless in that position for us. We've got 2 fit wingers in Jadon Sancho and Pedro Neto, who have not been good enough this season. They've scored 2 Premier League goals each, which is not good enough. And you've got a young Tyreek George who as the alternative, and you've got a frustrated Cole Palmer who can't do it all on his own and needs help, and he's not getting it.
Yeah, you can still end the weekend in 4th, 1 point behind 3rd.
It's crazy. Charlie, can I quickly ask you, when is Jackson and, I don't know how to pronounce it,
Gui or something? Jackson's out till April, so I think after the March international break, so he's out for a while. And then Gui is like, well, Maresca said, it doesn't look good. So, I mean, when I'm looking
at it from the outside perspective as well, to be fair, even when you had those 2 fit, you still weren't really
winning any games. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
not saying you're wrong, by the way. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah,
I personally can't see it, because from what I'm seeing every single week going to the games and that, like, you sort of know when you watch your team that whether you think you're gonna pick up enough points, whether you think the form's going to improve. Sure. When you've got Palmer in the team, things are possible, but you can't just rely on a 22-year-old kid. Like, he needs help. He hasn't scored for 5 games now, right? Which, okay, is not a massive issue, but by his standards, that's quite a lot. And when other players aren't stepping up and you're still relying on him to do something, Jackson's missing now, right? Which I think affects Palmer's game to a certain degree. But there's no goals. If Palmer doesn't do anything, who's scoring? Because Nkunku's not scoring goals. Madueke is not scoring goals. Neither's Sancho, neither's Neto, and there's no goals in midfield. And whatever this set piece coach that come from Brentford in the summer is doing, we're not scoring no goals from set pieces either. So you look at the team right now, other than Palmer, no one's scoring.
Do you know what, Charlie? Maybe I'm overrated. I still think you get top 4. I don't know, but
No,
maybe,
when
you put it like that, it's nice to hear it from your perspective, because obviously you watch your team week in, week out as your club. But I had to just sit there and think, I might have got this one wrong.
No, you might. No, but you could be right though. But I just I'd love us to be able to do it. And look, I still think we can get Champions League football potentially, but it's going to require us. It's going to require top 5 to get Champions League for us to do it, in my opinion. So, look, it's not looking good at the moment. Like, we're not playing
well.
Who got
the weekend? Who have you got?
Villa away, mate. We're done. We're not getting anything from that.
I mean, Villa haven't won a league game in 4. Look, it's all up in the air. But look,
on Wednesday, eh? That all changes on Wednesday, eh?
Nah, we beat. I'll say it now. We'll beat Villa.
Mate, if Rashford scores, we have to give one of these next week. One of these.
Where's the? It's at Villa Wednesday night.
Both at Villa. Yeah. No, but look,
before we get to Liverpool, I want to move away from Chelsea now. And your boys, Hooks. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't spectacular, but I suppose at this stage of the season, you got the 3 points. Are you still hopeful that Liverpool can be caught?
Yeah, 100%. More is more than like. Look, I've been very consistent with you have for a very long time. All Arsenal need to do is stay within Liverpool as many minimal points as possible by the time they face Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, back to back to back to back. Yeah. And then that's when we will find out if Liverpool really want the league. This is where we will find out.
Where are Liverpool playing Tottenham?
Sam, I didn't want to say it. I'm happy.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It matters.
You know why?
It's at Anfield, right, Ron?
I tell you why it doesn't matter. I tell you why it doesn't
they're
matter.
They're going to slap us up 4-0.
I'm going to tell you why it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's not necessarily about who they drop points to or where they drop points or if they drop points or any of that. Those are 4 consecutive games where Champions League games will be woven into there as well. They cannot afford to rotate. They are two stronger teams in the Premier League. If Arsenal are breathing down their neck for them to rotate, there will be times where they slip up. Yeah. But apparently I'm the crazy one for thinking Liverpool are going to drop. I'm the crazy one for thinking Liverpool are going to drop points, but they just drop points to Everton. But
no, they will drop points. But are Arsenal going to pick up the points that they need?
When did they lose though? When did Liverpool lose again?
You've not lost in 20 in the league, by the way. Just
20.
Yeah, I'm being in another 20 league games.
Records are there.
Of course,
we haven't lost in the last 15.
What's better, 20 or 15? Like,
I'm just saying we haven't lost in the last 15. No, but what I'm saying is it's only 5
bigger
off.
than your dad.
No, man, it's right.
Hey, Tottenham are on a roll of one out of one.
We spoke about this before. We spoke about this.
One on the trot.
Me and Hook spoke about this before the stream, right? This might be audacious, but this is what it's about. This is what it's about. Back in your club, right? And I genuinely believe, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I would come back on it and say, look, I got it wrong, you know. But I genuinely believe the only loss we'll have in the league this season was against Ants, boys. I think we draw a lot of our games. I think we draw at Chelsea, regardless of what Charlie says, our record there isn't the greatest in the last 3-4 years. But we draw at Chelsea. Man City game, I always ask most City fans, Nobbins, LB, they'll tell you the same thing. When they come Anfield, they write it off. I kind of write Etihad off. And some Liverpool fans might be watching this saying, what are you doing? There's a reason we've not won there in 9 years. There's certain grounds you just have a mental block at. That's why I don't think we lose against City. I think we draw. And Chelsea and City, I think we draw. I genuinely believe every other game, I think we win. Some people might say, oh, you're doing too much wrong. But I genuinely think momentum, once you keep winning and winning, it breeds momentum. If you listen to a lot of professionals' interviews, they say, you know what? Everyone's like, we need rest, but you like to play free. Exactly. Big up Elliot. But
records are there to be broken. Records are there to be broken.
You're going there with what? With a front three of Sterling.
Wait, no.
Zach will be back.
Lord Bukayo. Yeah, will.
Do you know what? Can I ask you this question though? Because I've asked to a lot of Arsenal fans, right? You see, regarding that sack, and listen, some say your best player, one of your better players, right? Would you wanna? And I'm not just saying this. You might say you're just saying this to your Liverpool fan. You want our team to be weaker, but for his sake, do you necessarily want it? Because I spoke to some Arsenal fans that say they just want to rest him the rest of the season so he comes back fit and healthy. Do you maybe want to rush him for that magnitude of game?
It's not rushing him. He's meant to be back. I believe the end of March, beginning of April. Yeah. What I'm saying.
When's the game?
Don't play him until Liverpool, which is the 10th of May. Don't play him until the 10th of May. Yeah, and depending if we can still win the league by the time that game comes, let those be his only 90 minutes. Saka, yeah, you know that one. Inevitable. Cut in from the right onto his left foot. Whip it bottom left corner or top left corner. Yeah.
I'd love this.
This is going to happen, by the way. 3 games remaining. Arsenal doing a Guard of Honor thing. That's going to be embarrassing.
Do you know one thing? Do you know one thing we've not mentioned? Do you know one thing we've not mentioned? Me and you, Hooks, and it involves both of our clubs. I think Liverpool and Arsenal, not just my club, but I think Liverpool and Arsenal go in a deep run in the Champions League. You, of course, won't win it, but you'll go on a deep run.
Whoa, relax. Relax. Romz, you don't want to see the ending of this season because we will take the Premier League and the Champions League away.
No way.
No.
Hey, look. I know I'm going to get cooked into oblivion all across the internet for this. So I might as well just be myself anyway. Yeah, I'm the type of brother I believe in my club until it is impossible. I'm not one of these weak-minded man. I'm always on the front line. I'm always there. You know, when you're looking Spartans right to left, yeah, Hooks is there all the time. Yeah, I will believe until it is impossible. Yeah, do you know why? Because I'm a firm believer in energies. Yeah. And I believe, yeah, if I put out weak energy, well, the players are going to be weak. So, you know, obviously, Romz, you don't want to see me turn up at Anfield. Because whenever I've gone to watch a game of Arsenal in a stadium, we have never lost. We have always won.
I can't say the same. Thanks, but I can't say the same.
Do you know what I mean? So,
okay. So can I ask, probability-wise, Hooks, what percentage are you giving Arsenal's probability of winning the title this season?
I would say as it stands right now, it's at like a 32%.
A 30?
32%.
That's a lower than I thought.
Okay. All right. And Romz, what's your probability of Liverpool lifting the title this season?
92%.
Yeah, 90%.
I was really expecting you to come out with a big 100 there. I was expecting you to go into the triple digits.
No, 95%.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still high, but I actually believe, right, and I've said this, if we avoid Real Madrid, said at the start of the season, I think we do the big double, genuinely.
Because the way we
play, there's a reason. Can I just say, there's a reason, and I hope no one like jinxes this or not, but there's a reason why we haven't accumulated as much injuries as we had last season. Klopp had a more gung, and this is no shade on Klopp. He changed my life as a manager. I've seen things.
Oh, the Klopp slander comes out now.
No.
This is shameless.
It's not Klopp slander, but with Klopp, I think we could all agree. Back in the last season, got very emotional. I didn't believe at the time, but when I look back at it, and I think the documentary will show you, got very emotional. Plus, his way was very gung ho, intense pressing for the majority of the game. We're very controlled, and a lot of people say, "Oh, Liverpool haven't." I would say we have had injuries. You've had Konate, you've had Jota, you've had
Alexander-Arnold.
Other players off the top of my head. Alexander-Arnold. There was about 6 or 7 I saw a tweet the other day. But what I would agree with Arsenal fans when they say we haven't had any key injuries to our key players. Van Dijk, Gravenberch, Salah, Konate hasn't had a long term. I know Alisson's been out. So we haven't had it to our main McAllister. We haven't had it to our core. But there's a reason for that because we're more controlled. There's a more controlled chaos in this slot system. And I actually think we stay injury free. Say that again.
But that doesn't mean anything because we're controlled.
No. This is my point. But this is my point. My point was the fact that we're more controlled. I think there's a lot of people saying if you get this injury, if you get that injury, we're approaching the end of March now. We haven't had a key one to our best. No, I'm not doing that, Filthy. We haven't had a key injury. I just think we're going to keep our core as long as we keep our core fit for the rest of the season. I think we win both competitions. Of course, it's going to be tough. Nothing should be easy. And we're Liverpool Football Club. We do everything the hard way. And one thing I would not come on here and say, Sav, is that we win this league by a canter. You might speak to some Liverpool fans and say, yeah, we're going to win it by... That's one thing that will never come out of my mouth. I think within the last 2-3 games, Arsenal will still have that. That's why whoever just said Liverpool give a guard of honour, I'd love that, but I don't believe that would happen. I still think Arsenal
it would be incredible.
I love it.
Wait. Why? Do you know what? Yeah, this is what I mean. Yeah, this is why you're blessed, Romz. Yeah, because you don't have to battle every other fan in the league. Yeah, to win a title. I, as an Arsenal fan, have to battle everybody, bro. I think the only people that are siding with me is maybe a few quirky Man United fans. Yeah, and
they all are.
And Everton fans.
Everton and
only real people.
Yeah, Everton and Man United are back in Arsenal.
Only real people. Everybody else, I've even got to fight PGMOL. I got to fight all of them. La Liga, Bundesliga, all of the officials, bro. I find all of them to win the league, bro. Why would it be such a great thing for a Chelsea fan, for Arsenal to do a guard of honour at Anfield, when at least in my adult life, it was Chelsea that was rivaling Liverpool? Explain this to me. All the rivals link up for Arsenal is because everybody is insignificant in comparison, bro. You know why? Because Henry punched up all your teams when you was growing up. And this is why people hate us. I'll
tell you what, mate. Talking of punching up teams, Drogba punched up you boys every season, mate.
But Hooks,
hey, we're not allowed to talk about history.
Do you know what
only if it's in the last decade.
Oh, I see. We're setting.
Do you want
I don't think Drogba was the last decade, was it?
Romz, can I just say something to you, Romz, really quickly?
Go on.
Considering your team is, what was the word you used? The reason you're not getting injuries is you're controlled.
Controlled chaos.
I mean, you didn't look very controlled when Plymouth were knocking you out of the FA Cup. I just want to mention that. I just had to get that in. So on the panel, I'm going to ask everyone in the chat and in the panel, right? Who is winning the league title this year? I'm going to chuck out 2 options. Sorry, Anne. I'm chucking out Liverpool or Arsenal. Listen, it's really difficult, right? Because I hate it when there's no title race. Right. So the part of me as a football fan, forget that I'm Spurs right now. The football fan of me wants Liverpool to lose their next 2 games. So it's interesting. The Spurs fan in me is like, oh shit, but if that happens, it's them lot who are gonna. So it's really difficult. But I do hate it when there's no. I do hate it when it's not close. I do hate it when one team runs away with it. I'm not saying you have run away with it yet.
Hey Savva, just remember, another thing against Liverpool. The only time they've won the Premier League is when they wasn't in a title race. Just remember that. Every other time they've been in a title race, every other time they've been in a title race, they've lost it. Just remember that.
But then I can say the same about you.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No,
in recent years.
No, but every time I've won the
20 years, last 21 years, no title. We're going back 2 decades, Romz. We can't be doing that.
But then, you know what? This is swings and roundabouts because I could just say I've got a World Cup win in my team and I've got a core of players that have won the league, and then you don't have players that have won things.
I haven't won the Champions League, so did Jorginho. What now?
No. You didn't listen to what I said. They haven't won as a group at Arsenal.
Oh, as a group. Oh, so what group of Liverpool won the World Cup?
And I said Premier League as well.
Yeah, but on a title race, right? Do you reckon that, as Savva says, people want a title race, right? I reckon a lot of this title race chat is just manufactured because people want to convince themselves there is a title race. If we're being real,
Wolfie's number one.
I don't think there is a title race. Yes, mathematically, Arsenal can still win the league. Of course they can. But we have to be honest here. What we've seen from 24, 25 games, there's about 13 games left. Liverpool, the best team in the league, comfortably. You know, couple that in with Arsenal missing.
I don't think it's comfortably, by the way.
It is. No, it is. No, it is. With Havertz now missing, with Saka still out. Obviously,
we've had players missing all season, though. That's the thing. And we
are the attack's now missing, right? I'm not saying you won't win games, but I think a lot of this title race stuff is manufactured because people want to believe there's a title race.
No, but I'll say, Charlie, you're looking at things when you're involved in one, and I think Hooks would agree. It's easy to say it from the outside looking in. And I know my club, we'd never really do things the easy way. I think there's a title race, but I think there's just a clearer, obvious, in my opinion, winner. But there still is a title race because if the only way I would agree to subscribe to your notion is if I didn't think we'll drop any more points. Football doesn't work like that. We will still drop points. And so will they. But the difference is, I just think we've got more experience. I think we've got more know-how. But what will happen, Charlie, like Sav was saying earlier, 2 or 3 results can change things, right? I genuinely believe we get 7 out of our next 9 points. I think we beat Villa, draw to City, and I think we beat Newcastle, right? But what will happen is after the City, I genuinely think we drop points to City. After that City game, I don't know who Arsenal have that weekend, but what you'll see is, Liverpool getting nervous.
And we have Nottingham Forest.
By the way, can I just add to this as well? Once we... Again, I don't want to disrespect Villa, but once I believe we beat Villa, right, we will go 10 points. Wait, we'll go 10 points temporarily. What that could do to this Arsenal team, it could be daunting. They're like, we've got a game in hand, but 10 points adrift, it could be daunting because I'm not even mentioning the games.
Yeah, but we're playing West Ham at home.
But then you have Forest after that.
So the game week that you play Man City, we play West Ham at home.
Fair enough. These are the games I think you drop points in. If you do the maths, by my logic, we win the league. I think you draw at the City ground and you lose to us. I think as well, Liverpool and Arsenal win quite a lot of games towards the end of the season. But I just think if you do the maths, we only drop 4 more points for the rest of the season, and you drop. I don't think
you can say that with football though. Like I feel like
no. Of course, what I'm saying probably won't come true. This is my prediction. What I'm saying, of course, it's probably not going to come true, but that's just my prediction of how I think the season will transpire. To be fair, but I think there's still.
What's a point total over your next 3 games that you get that would make you start being more worried about Arsenal?
I'd say 4 out of that. Anything less than. No, actually, what I originally said, anything less than 7 points, I genuinely would start being worried. That's how high I rate my team. I genuinely would start being worried. I think we need to get 7 points minimum out of our next 3. Because I think if we can win it as early as possible, it adds more pressure onto you lot. And then that's where you could see a situation where it's wrapped up quite. Because 10 points adrift, even with a game in hand, that's daunting to look at. Especially from an Arsenal perspective. I think you'll admit that is daunting to look at. Yeah. So... yeah, anything less than 7 points, I would be a bit worried. Not gonna lie.
Look, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Very, very interesting times. Listen, lots of games going on this week. Got Man City, Real Madrid, Aston Villa v Liverpool, loads of Champions League stuff going on, and then we've got another big weekend of Premier League football where my team are going to Portman Road to see if we can beat Ipswich Town. So that'll be fun.
Well, mate, we couldn't do that. So good luck, mate.
Just quickly, big up to Aris who put in a super sticker earlier on. Thank you very much, Aris. Always appreciate you. You're always very generous to me. Mr. Link has come in and said Arsenal fans have been comparing to Liverpool since 22. Big up to you. Thank you, Mr. Link, for that. And just quickly, Sophie, I can see in the chat you're very desperate that I acknowledge your Mo Salah love at the moment. I think your question is there a better player in world football right now than Mo Salah?
No.
I mean, I guess if we're looking at output, then the answer's no. I think there's people that are better footballers than him, but his output this year is absolutely crazy. But when you're talking about Ballon d'Ors, you got to be winning those leagues.
You have to win stuff.
Got to be winning those things.
Champions League's the one that holds weight. I'm happy you mentioned that one because if he was just to win the Prem and not Champions League, there's an argument that the best player in the team that wins Champions League probably wins it. That's normally how it goes.
Are we going to be consistent this time? Are we going to be consistent
but guys, listen, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Just for my viewers, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for a morning chat with Savva. And then tomorrow we've got another panel show for you at 5 o'clock with Romz is going to be joining me again. But we're going to have a whole different part aside from that to argue.
There's rumours that Wolfie will be making an appearance, isn't there, Savva?
Wolfie has said to me he will be here, so let's see if Wolfie will be here. I want to get a Spurs fan on as well that's not me. I want to get a Spurs fan on that wants to not be me, if that makes sense. I want
the in guy on.
So you want delusion
guy?
Yeah, he wants delusion.
I want George. I want Deji. I want one of these guys to go, hang on, we could still win our last 15 games and finish with 75 points. On a serious note, big up to everyone. Thank you very much. Please go and subscribe to Hooks. Go and subscribe to Romz. Please subscribe to Charlie at Blue Brother CFC and subscribe to Ant at Forest Fan TV. Much love, everyone. Take care. As always, come on, you Spurs. And don't forget, we did win a European competition in the 80s. Take care, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.